Shabbat Shalom, everyone. We begin with words of love and community. Olam chesed yibana, yalai lai lai lai, yalai lai lai. Olam chesed yibana, yalai lai lai, yalai lai lai. Olam chesed yibana, yalai lai lai lai, yalai lai lai. Olam chesed yibana, yalai lai lai lai, yalai lai lai. I will build this world from love. Yalai lai lai lai, yalai lai lai. And you must build this world from love. Yalai lai lai lai, yalai lai lai. And if we build this world from love, yalai lai lai, yalai lai lai, then God will build this world from love. Yalai lai lai, yalai lai. Olam chesed yibana, yalai lai lai, yalai lai lai. Olam chesed yibana, yalai lai lai, yalai lai lai. Olam chesed yibana, yalai lai lai, yalai lai lai. Olam chesed yibana, yalai lai lai, yalai lai lai.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody, on a beautiful, beautiful Erev Shabbat here in Denver. I'm Rabbi Joe Black, Senior Rabbi of Temple Emmanuel. With me is Cantor Elizabeth Sachs, our Senior Cantor, and we are thrilled to be able to worship together on this Erev Shabbat. And this is a special weekend. We have a triple B'nai Mitzvah occurring tomorrow morning. So I want to welcome Richard, Dana, Ellie, and Maddie Judd, as well as Carla Piazza and Noah Klein, to kindle our Shabbat lights.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
I begin with a prayer of gratitude for all that is holy in my life. God needs no words, no English or Hebrew, no semantics, and no services, but I need them. Through prayer, I can sense my inner strength, my inner purpose, my inner joy, my capacity to love. As I reach upward in prayer, I sense these qualities in my Creator. To love God is to love each other, to make our lives better. To love God is to love the world God created and to work to perfect it. To love God is to love dreams of peace and joy that illumine all of us and to bring that vision to life. Chazan? I spent a lot of time this past week meeting with wedding couples, sometimes trying to reschedule weddings or figure out ways to do Zoom life cycle events. And there's a lot of disappointment, but also a lot of excitement no matter what. You see, a wedding is not only about the event. A wedding is about acknowledging and celebrating and highlighting the holiness that exists between two people. And weddings also tell us about how we should feel. In the mystical tradition, a wedding is a precursor to the coming of the Messiah. And the joy you feel at a wedding is the same joy you feel when the Messiah comes. So when the Kabbalists of Tzvat said the words, Lecha dodi likrat kala p'nei Shabbat nekabla, come my beloved to greet the Shabbat bride. It wasn't merely that Shabbat is pictured as love, although Shabbat is a time that we experience love. Shabbat also gives us a taste of a world that is yet to be, but for which we long, and we have a little glimpse every week as we come together. Lecha dodi. Cantor?
Shama
for prayer as we enter into Parahsat.
This is an hour of change. Within it, we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it, we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? Baruch atah Adonai ha'ma'ariv aravim. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening. The love that echoes love, that whispers love, that breathes love, in the quiet stillness of morning, is leading you toward light, toward understanding, toward God, together. For love is the pulse of holiness, the beating heart of radiance and wonder, the rhythm of creation, the energy of blessing, the starburst of the divine. The love that echoes in your heart resonates eternal with all beings, with all souls, with the wisdom of the ages and the wisdom of the earth together. Yes, love is the pulse of holiness. Let it flow through you. Let your countenance shine majesty from the core of your being to the edge of the universe, to fill the world with splendor.
Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם להיות על ידך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. אמן.
Emet. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands and marching together. We are walking in the light of God. 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 We are walking, we are walking, we are walking in the light of God. We are walking, we are walking, we are walking in the light of God. Michamocha ba'elim Adonai, Michamocha nehedar b'kodesh. Michamocha ba'elim Adonai, Michamocha nehedar b'kodesh. We are walking in the light of God. 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 Oh, we are walking. We are walking. We are walking in the light of God. We are walking. We are walking. We are walking in the light of God. Thus it is said, Adonai redeemed Jacob from a hand stronger than his own. Praised are you, Adonai, for redeeming Israel. Baruch ata Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael. Give us a place to rest, Adonai our God. Bring us into shelter in the soft, long evening shadows of your truth. For with you our true protection and safety, and in your presence our acceptance and gentle love. Watch over us as we go forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace, Sukat Shlomecha, over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours. Baruch ata Adonai apore Sukat Shalom aleinu, va'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. Blessed are you, Adonai, guardian of Israel, whose Sukat Shalom, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people Israel, and over Jerusalem. Prayer is at the heart not only of great religion, but of significant living. Without prayer, we cannot scale the heights of compassion or reach the peaks of love of our neighbor, of which we are called and capable. Prayer together is a step on which we rise from the self we are to the self we wish to be. Prayer affirms the hope no reality can crush, the goal that can never acknowledge defeat. Prayer is not an escape from duty. It is no substitute for the deed. Together, prayer seeks the power to do wisely, to act generously, to live helpfully. It helps to reinforce the act rather than to replace it. Prayer is the search for silence in the midst of life. Our prayers are answered not when we are given what we ask, but when we are challenged to be what we can be.
We rise as we are able, physically or spiritually, for tefillah. Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el HaGadol HaGibor VaHaNorah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Vekonei HaKol, Vezocher Chasdei Avot Ve'imahon, Umevi Geulah Livnei V'neihem, Leman Shemo Be'ava, Melech Ozer, Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magir Avraham Ve'ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechaye HaKol Atah Rab Lehoshia, Morid Hatal, Mechalkel Chaim Bechesed, Mechaye HaKol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Verofech Cholim, Umatir Hasurim, Umekayem Emunato, Lishanei Afar, Micha Mocha Bal Gevurot, Umido Melach, Melech Meimid, Umechaye, Umatmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman Natal HaChayot HaKol, Baruch Atah Adonai, Mechaye HaKol, Atah Kadosh, V'shimcha Kadosh, U'Kedoshim B'chol Yom Yahalelucha Selah, Baruch Atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh.
So we're going to take a moment now and move away from the prayers on our screens, the prayers written by others, and find those prayers imprinted in our hearts. As we look within, there to find God, and we take some time for silent prayer. So we continue with Seder Kriyat Torah, the service for the reading of the Torah. I'm going to say a little bit about this week's Torah portion, Parahsat Beha'alotcha. Finally, we're on a new Torah portion. And one of my favorite Hebrew words in the entire Torah is found in this week's Torah portion. And that word is asafsuf. It's an awesome word. It's an onomatopoetic word, and you can hear within it kind of whispering and rumbling, asafsuf, asafsuf. And it is there's really it's hard to translate it, but a few ways to translate it are the rabble rousers, the mixed multitude, the troublemakers who accompanied the Israelites when they left Egypt on their journeys. And it's really hard to say what it means, but it is not hard to measure their impact on the Israelites. Now, Rashi, the French commentator, says that the Asafsuf were this ragtag group of people who joined the Israelites when they left Egypt. Possibly they were slaves from other nations who saw it was time to get out while the getting was good, and so they just left with the Israelites. They took advantage of God's protection, but had no stake in or connection to the mitzvot. And so we have these rabble rousers. Now, these past 3 weeks, as we know, have been tumultuous and world-shaking. In the wake of the violent and tragic death of George Floyd at the hands of members of the Minneapolis Police Department, a death that was unfortunately not unique, we have witnessed a spark of frustration fueled by a violent and tragic history of oppression over 4 centuries. And there are those who would say that the protests we have seen in the streets of the cities around the world are the result of outside agitators, the asafsuf, the provocateurs, who want nothing more than to foment violence and chaos in order to achieve their wicked ends. But the truth is, while we know that focusing on the looting and criminal behavior that took place during these protests, is a diversionary tactic. Yes, there were some violent provocateurs, people who came in and tried to make a reaction, tried to make a disruption. And yet the percentage of protesters who participated in this type of violence was minuscule in relation to the overwhelming numbers of peaceful yet angry marchers who are demanding change and drawing a line in the sand of our nation's shameful racist history. The looting and the violence was just a small part of what happened. It was destructive and counterproductive, yes, and yet there are those who can only focus on that damage while ignoring and demeaning the vital, painful, and essential messages that were being delivered to our nation. The people who marched were not an angry, uncontrolled mob. They were not thugs. They were people who reached a breaking point, who saw injustice, and in true American fashion, followed in the footsteps of the Boston Tea Party, the civil rights pioneers of the 1960s, the protesters against an unjust war in Vietnam, and so many other turning points in history to express the need for change. And we've seen change. We've seen laws regulating police brutality. We have seen it in painful but fruitful conversations at funerals and in houses of Congress, in houses of worship, and around dinner tables, in the NFL and in NASCAR, on Zoom, on Facebook, and anywhere that people congregate, we are seeing change. Yes, it's messy, it's vital, and it's essential. Those who look to the asafsuf to place blame are futilely grasping for straws that hold together the white privilege of our past. But if you looked at the multicultural, multiracial, interfaith, and interrelated men, women, and children who were praying with their feet as they marched, And all you thought with thugs, terrorists, and outside agitators, I would ask that you just take a few steps in the shoes of the marchers who knew all too well the fear of George Floyd, of Eric Garner, of Michael Brown, Tamir Rice, Walter Scott, Alton Sterling, Philando Castile, Stephen Clark, and Breonna Taylor, who died in recent years. Each of these names represents a life, a family, loved ones who are bereft at the loss of a child, a brother, a sister, a daughter, a husband, a father. Men and women taken too soon, violently, and all too often by those to whom society looks to provide protection. Now, I do not blame the police for all of these deaths, or for the fear that people of color fear, or for the fear that people of color feel when they are surveilled, profiled, and detained for reasons that most of us who are not Black, who are not Hispanic, Native American, or any other person of color who fears law enforcement know. I don't blame the police. I blame a system that has evolved over the past 400 years, a system that is designed to protect the powerful and keep the status quo in place. If we have learned nothing more over the past 3 weeks than to see the pain and the suffering of these men and women who have died, and so many more whose names we do not know, is that the status quo is no longer sustainable. Black Lives Matter is not simply a political movement that can be ostracized. It is a cry for understanding, compassion, and equality. To demean it, to shrug it off, to demonize it, is to close our eyes to reality and to bow down to the golden calf of privilege. And that, my friends, is idolatry, which, if you remember the 10 Commandments, it's kind of a big sin. Today is a special day. Today would have been Anne Frank's 91st birthday. These past weeks have taught us to remember, to be vigilant, to realize that there is still so much work to be done if we are to be able to remember the vision of a 12-year-old girl who wrote the following in her diary. It's really a wonder that I haven't dropped all my ideals because they seem so absurd and impossible to carry out. Yet I keep them because in spite of everything, I still believe that people are really good at heart. I simply can't build up my hopes on a foundation consisting of confusion, misery, and death. I see the world gradually being turned into a wilderness. I hear the ever-approaching thunder, which will destroy us too. I can feel the sufferings of millions, and yet if I look up into the heavens, I think that it will come out right, that this cruelty too will end, and that peace and tranquility will return again. My friends, I share Anne Frank's faith. I believe that most people are good most of the time. But I also know all too well how capable we are of deflecting, denying, and destroying opportunities to build bridges and enhancing our lives in the process. So on this Shabbat, let's not focus on the asafsuf. Let's not point fingers and place blame, but let's look deep into ourselves and find a hunger not for food, but for justice, for equality, and for shalom. Shabbat shalom. So we have many people participating in our Torah service on the Shabbat. First of all, Blessing Torah is going to be the parents of our B'nai Mitzvah, Richard and Dana, Judd and Carla Piazza. Chanting Torah live will be our own Cantor Sachs. Translating Torah, Wendy Nekritz, a member of our Board of Trustees. And of course, Blessing Torah following the Judd and Klein families. Mazel Tov.
Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamvorach. Baruch Adonai Hamvorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Vayehi ha'am kamit onenim ra be'oznei Adonai vayishma Adonai vayichar apo vativar bam esh Adonai vatochal biktsei hamachaneh vayitzak ha'am el Moshe vayitpalel Moshe el Adonai vatishka ha'esh vayikra shem hamakom ahu tav'era ki va'aravam esh Adonai Ve'ha'asafsuf asher bekirbo hitavu tava vayashuvu vayivku gam b'nei Yisrael vayomru mi ya'achilenu basar zacharnu et hadaga asher nochal b'mitzrayim chinam et hakishuim veit ha'avatichim veit hachatzer veit habsalim veit hashumim ve'ata nafshenu yevesha ein ko bilti el haman einenu.
The people took to complaining bitterly before the Eternal. The Eternal heard and was incensed. A fire of the Eternal broke out against them, ravaging the outskirts of the camp. The people cried out to Moses. Moses prayed to the Eternal, and the fire died down. That place was named Taberah, because a fire of the Eternal had broken out against them. The riffraff in their midst felt a gluttonous craving, and the Israelites wept and said, "If only we had meat to eat." We remember the fish that we used to eat free in Egypt, the cucumbers, the melons, the leeks, the onions, and the garlic. Now our gullets are shriveled. There is nothing at all, nothing but this manna to look to.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam atah b'tochenu Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
So we continue now with our Mishaberach, this moment when we think of all the people in our lives who are in need of healing. And there's something about this prayer. Even though we are all in separate places, when we focus our energy, when we as a community think about those who are in need, we're taken to a higher place. Our collective thoughts, prayers, hopes, passion combine as we read this list of names. And as you know, our list is a little bit longer these past few weeks because there are people in need, and also because we've asked for more names and we want them. If there's a name that you think should be on this list and isn't, write it in or let us know and we'll put it on for next week. And we also cycle names off, so if you think a name has been taken off too quickly, let us know that as well. We pray together. the source of strength, who bless the ones before us. Help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. On this Shabbat, we are mindful of Zachary Hoffman, David Karner, David Lustig, Marcia Richter, Martin Indick, Kara Gleskoder, Paul Kamensky, Dr. Carrie McCallie, James Francis Clark, Natalie Mosier, Corey Franklin, Andy Friedman, Rabbi Jonathan Brown, Margaret Glubach, Dr. Howard Miller, Bob Connolly, Chaya Kayla Rubin, Lori Markman, Jody Goldman, Derek Rudofsky, Jennifer Butler Poole, Liz Lipper, Shanti Khazan, Robert Tucker, Sondra Heller, Jennifer Brynan, Lynn Pollitt, Sarah Ellen McIntyre, Neil Levin, Erwin Chaim, Arthur Gilbert, Patty Lampert, Jeff Cohn, David Bershoff, Jim Shalat, Gwen Schatz, Lynn McLaughlin Cromar, Dana Huss, Marilyn Tepper, Pat Shirley, Ellen Friedman, and all the names of those whose names are being listed below. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shalema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
We continue now with Aleinu as we rise, as we are able physically or spiritually. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'teit gedula leotzer breshit, shelo asanu kegoye haratzot, velo samanu kemishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, vegor aleinu kechol hamunam, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא.
These beautiful words by the poet Chana Senesh. יש כוכבים שאורם מגיע ארצה רק כאשר הם עצמם עבדו ואינם. There are stars up above, so far away we only see their light long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we love. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest night, these are the lights that guide us. As we live our days, these are the ways that we remember. As we now recall the following: Arthur Goodman, who was taken from us during this past week; Irene Billingham, Betty Ann Bloom, Kenneth Bloom, Jeff Boehm, Robert Burley, Dr. Norman Butterman, Bernice Dinner, Terry Dufresne, Estelle Gottesfeld, Julie Horwich, Neil Tossig Levy, Jacqueline Lewin, Daniel Lipman, William Raffeld, Joan Rolnick, and Joni Talpers, who were taken from us during the previous 30 days. And we link with their names those whose yahrzeit, the anniversary of whose death occurs at this time: Louis Adler, Josephine Rose Alpert, Norman E. Berman, Mary Blacker, William Bromberg, Ethel May Brown, Jacob Chisdes, Emma Connor, Robert John Crane, Warren G. Epstein, Leona Frankel, Dr. Marshall A. Friedman, Dr. Robert R. Galen, Al Glick, William Goldberg, Goldie Goldstein, Marilyn Schwab Gordon, Libby Ornauer Grauman, Amy F. Greenbaum, Rose Gross, Nathan J. Hattenbach, Greta Lou Horwitz, Annette W. Hyatt, Louis Katchen, Dorothy Morris Cates, Morris E. Kramish, Lavetta B. Crone, Regina Lehrberger, Anna Mintz Levine, Max Morris, Wyatt Levy-Newman, Etta Pellish, Miriam R. Pepper, Brett Perlmutter, Richard Filippi, Nettie Plotkin, Julian G. Pollack, Patricia Rothman, Tibor Rothman, Maurice M. Schwab, Evelyn A. Shaner, Harold Shapiro, Violet Siegel, Sam Silver, Fred Silverberg, Ida Tobias, Louis Tucker, Janet Torsky, Louis B. Weinstein, Ben Walensky, Henry A. Winter, Laney Ringall Woodall, Robert S. Zinn, and Annie R. Zueto. We remember 10 of the 420 precious souls from the community of Kolin, for whom our Kolin Chapel is dedicated: Karol Goldreich, Berta Goldreichova, Evgen Goldschmeid, Karolina Goldschmeidova, Ludwig Goliger, Hanna Goligrova, Hermina Goligrova, Dr. Viktor Grossman, Karol Groinhut, and Karolina Groinhutova. If there are other names that have not been read, please write them in. We stand with them. We stand with all the victims of violence our country has suffered through. As we now ask, if you have lost a loved one in the past 30 days, rise, either spiritually or physically. If you are in the 11-month period of mourning since the loss of a loved one, we stand with you. And if you are observing a yahrzeit, rise as you are able, physically or spiritually, as we join together in ancient words of the mourner's Kaddish. Yit gadal v'yit kadash merabah. Bi'alma divrachir utei v'yamlich malchutei. B'chayechon v'yomechon uv'chaye dechol beit Yisrael ba'agalau v'zman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabba mevarach la'alam u'lalmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal shmei dekud shabrichu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran bi'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shmaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu va'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. And may the source of peace, who makes peace in places far beyond our knowing, send peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved here among us wherever they may be, and let us all say amen.
Shalom in Roma, Hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'yimru
So a few announcements. Hi, Cantor. Tomorrow morning, there is, as always, a preponderance of Shabbat celebration. 9 o'clock a.m., our Young Family Shabbat experience with Steve Brodsky and Jill Katchen. Let's see what they have up their sleeves. At 10 a.m., Rabbi Hyatt will be leading us in Torah study. And remember, it's a new format. You can watch it either on Facebook or you can find the link that will allow you to participate in the Zoom that should be posted. There's a form that you can fill out. But even if you can't get into the Zoom, you can participate on Facebook. At 11 o'clock will be our community service led by Rabbi Hyatt and Cantor. At 11:30 is the Bar B'nai Mitzvah of Ellie and Maddie Judd and Noah Klein that Steve Brodsky and I will be co-leading. You can find that on the Temple Emmanuel B'nai Mitzvah page if you'd like to participate in that. At 7 o'clock, Havdalah with Rabbi Hyatt and Cantor Sachs and the 6th grade family of Craig, Alyssa, Sam, and Ava Garden-Schwartz. Watch for live recorded events and other posts for many, many days that will be taking place on the Temple Emmanuel Facebook page. Check your e-notes for the latest updates. Remember, is this Sunday, Schwader, the Magic Schwader? Oh, so this Sunday is a very special day. It would have been, of course, opening day and family visiting day up at Schwader. We're not going to be up there, but you can participate. There's going to be a very special 24-hour campaign. Keep the Schwader magic to support our Schwader camp. Closing camp, of course, costs us a great deal, not only spiritually, we miss being up in camp, but also financially. So any way that you can help with Schwader camp is greatly appreciated. You can find that link on our website, on our Facebook page, in our e-notes. Thank you for your participation and your support of Schwader camp so that we can reach our matching grant. So it is time now for Kiddush, and we want to once again invite our B'nai Mitzvah, Ellie, Maddie, and Noah to lead us in Kiddush.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddishanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratzah banu, v'shabbat kodsho, be'ahava uvratzon, hinhilanu, zikaron lema'aseh, bereshit, ki hu yom tehila, lemikra'e kodesh, zecher litziat mitzrayim, ki banu baharta, ve'otanu kidashta, mikol hamim, ve'shabbat kodshecha, be'ahava uvratzon, hinhaltanu, Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh hashabbat.
L'chaim!
Yasher kochech to our wonderful B'nai Mitzvah. And now it is time for Motzi. So we sing together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
I know that there's a challah waiting upstairs for me.
Ooh, that sounds delicious. We made challah this morning, all of us, the entire Sachs family. So there is gluten-free challah waiting for me downstairs.
Yum.
We'll see how hard it is by the time I get there. So we are going to conclude our service this evening with this prayer, really, and this prayer and this anthem that was written by singer-songwriter Alana Arian, a good friend of both Rabbi Black's and myself, in response to a lot of the feelings of action and a lot of the feelings of needing to move and to be a part of what is going on in the world. And so this evening, we conclude reminding each and every one of us that we do have a voice. I will open my eyes. I will not look away. I will use this gift I've been given every day. I have a voice. My voice is powerful. My voice can change the world. I have a voice. My voice is powerful. My voice can change the world. Change the world. I will give of myself. I will reach out my hands. I will use this heart I've been given to take a stand. I have a voice. My voice is powerful. My voice can change the world. I have a voice. My voice is powerful. My voice can change the world. Change the world. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asanu b'tselem Elohim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asanu b'tselem Elohim. I have a voice. My voice is powerful. My voice can change the world. I have a voice. My voice is powerful. My voice can change the world. Change the world. I will fight for the truth. I will stand up for what's right. I will use this strength I've been given to be a light. I have a voice. My voice is powerful. My voice can change the world. I have a voice. My voice is powerful. My voice can change the world. Change the world. Change the world. Change the world. Change the world.
Eloheinu v'Elohei kol dorotinu. Our God and the God of every generation. Eloheinu v'Elohei kol shofar. Our God and the God who gives us the voice of the shofar calling, the voice of clarion, the voice of an emergency, the voice of hope, the voice of peace. God, on this Shabbat, we listen to our voices and we ask, to whose voice do we listen? Do we listen to the voice of the Asafsuf, or do we listen to the voice of change, of hope, of love, of caring, of promise? Eloheinu v'Elohei kol dorotenu, our God and the God of every generation. On this Shabbat, let us listen to voices of hope. of change, of peace. And we ask your blessing. Bruchim hayinu bevoenu, bruchim nihiyah b'tzeitenu. Blessed were we in coming here. Blessed may we be as we go forth for this time and always. Amen. Shabbat Shalom.